back to another episode with Mystic Scales and Fae Tales Podcast.
I'm Lee.
I'm Jennifer.
We're in this together.
And welcome.
We are back with another mini episode today. Yeah? What are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say this is our last mini episode of 2025.
It is.
Actually, our last episode of 2025, period.
Yeah. And our first mini episode of season 3.
Yes,
so,
and the first mini episode of season 3.
Lots doing. That's exciting.
Yeah, so if it's your first time here, welcome. We are a dystopian fantasy romance review podcast. We have a book club on the app Fable that inspired this whole thing. You can read the book with us on our book club called Mystic Scales and Fae Tales Podcast Book Club. Literally, you can just look up Fae Tales on the app Fable, like I said 5 times. And yeah, join us to read, review, comment along, see fan art, and then we review the books on here. But there are books that we don't always read with our clubs. We have that club and our side quest club that also read with us. And that's some of those we do mini episodes for or long episodes. And this week, this is one of those cases because we are continuing a series that we've started many moons ago at this point, probably since the summertime.
I think it was August.
Yeah, I think it was August that we started this series within our mini episodes. This is our Ali Hazelwood mini episode series. We read and review all of Ali's books, and that's how you know that she has a lot of books because of the fact that
we're still going.
We literally have been reviewing it since August, and it's 2 a month. So like that's a lot. Because we're doing her core and her novellas, so like that's insane. And she's been publishing as we've done it, so like this is kind of insane.
Yeah, but I'm excited. So we're going back to novellas. So this is part of the Loathe to Love You little collection. And we already did one of them in a mini episode, Under One Roof. And so today we're going to talk about the other 2, which are Stuck With You and Below Zero.
Below Zero.
Which...
they get slightly more intense as they go on.
A little bit, yeah. And a little more like focused, I would say. I feel like Under One Roof was kind of its own like full story, and at least Stuck With You, I'm like, this is a very like a pinpoint in time. This whole story is just like pretty much one moment, I feel like.
Like less than 24 hours, it feels like.
And I feel like that's how long it took us to read them, basically.
Oh yeah, because they're so short. Listened to them, read them. Ali has a physical copy, and it's really not that long, all of them together. And it's so interesting just watching Ali work in her short form, because by this point, like, these are her first novellas, and by now she's had a lot of novellas. So it's like kind of fun for us jumping around all these different novellas to see how she handles doing a shorter story.
So true.
Which some of them she really succeeds, and some of them we feel like it's just like, oh, we could have just done a little bit more to get there.
I mean, this says 2023. I don't know if that was just like this paperback or...
Remember, Ali didn't get that big until a couple years ago. These originally were published in January 3rd of 2023, so we are actually reaching an anniversary for this novella series as we review it.
Wow. But yeah, it definitely was after Love Hypothesis.
Yeah, that was her big hit. So remember, Ali's still like a newer author. It's crazy how big she is now, but she is a newer author.
And she just keeps cranking them out, so we're here for it.
So we can start with Stuck With You. So here is the little summary, back of book ad. So Stuck With You. Nothing like a little rivalry between scientists to take love to the next level. Get it? Because they're... Mara, Sadie, Hannah are friends first, scientists always. Though their field of study might take them to different corners of the universe, they can all agree on this universal truth. When it comes to love and science, opposites attract, rivals make you burn. Logically, Sadie knows that civil engineers are supposed to build bridges. However, as a woman of STEM, she also understands that variables can change, and when you are stuck for hours in a teeny New York elevator with the man who broke your heart, you earn the right to burn that brawny blonde bridge to the ground. Eric can apologize all he wants, but to quote her rebel leader, she'd just as soon kiss a Wookiee. Not even the most sophisticated of Sadie's superstitions rituals could have predicted such a disastrous reunion. But while she refuses to acknowledge the siren call of Eric's steely forearms or the way his voice softens when he offers her his sweater, Sadie can't help but wonder if there might be more layers to her cold-hearted nemesis than meet the eye. Maybe, possibly, even burned bridges can still be crossed. And of course, there's a Star Wars reference in the summary, because Ali has to reference Star Wars like every freaking book.
I just feel like that description was so dramatic. Like,
I mean, it is a little dramatic what happens, so they're not wrong. That's what I'm saying. They get a little more intense.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So, what are your initial thoughts finishing this story?
It's funny. I've noticed with these, I sometimes don't always grab the female's name right away. And, like, I know they talked about their names in the other one, Under One Roof, but we haven't read it in so long. Like, that was a couple months when we read it. So when this was starting, like, I called his name Eric, but at first I was like, what is her name? And it took me for like a second to be like, oh, her name is Sadie. So I've noticed that when I read these novellas by Ali. I guess she doesn't repeat their names a lot.
Yeah.
So that was funny. No, I liked how this one was set in New York. I thought that was fun. It was a little different, and we talked about this with Ali. Like, her locations are always so interesting because it's like, has she, like, we know that she originally was from Italy and she's obviously lived here for a while, but like, she picks so many different cities for all of her books that you're just like, it's refreshing, but at the same time you're like, oh my god, how does she know so much? Like, has she been to all these places?
I know. And like, we just listened to Hot for Slayer, which was also New York, but like this was before that, so it's like,
yeah,
that one was she was coming back. So I agree. I like that it was New York too.
What did you think of it? I mean, I liked it. I think I like Below Zero a little more when we get there, but I did enjoy this one. This one did feel like a middle child, which is ironic. Yeah. It's like in the middle of the two.
So true. That's a great description. I think it was, I don't know, it was like too short, and like, it was cute, but I felt like it could have just been like someone telling the story about it, like as an anecdote kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it didn't really need to be a full length, quote unquote, short story. But I mean, I still
would have been funnier if it was like a recap, like if she was telling someone the story, or like how the other novella that she wrote that we read, The Cruel Winter with You, how basically it was like flashback and then you just saw everything happen.
I think so. I mean, one thing I did like was like Eric is her first like Norwegian man, and like you're about to get to Deep End, so you're gonna meet Lucas, which is like the pinnacle. But I just think it's funny, like, this Eric is like the tall, blonde, like Viking style man, and she doesn't really write about him before that, like that kind of guy. Like, yes, he's always a big guy, but he's usually like a dark haired or like kind of quiet, like
not blonde.
Brooding.
The blonde guys are usually the bad ones, so it's kind of nice and refreshing that he wasn't.
I think you even texted me that you're like, he's blonde.
Like, I was shocked. I was like, oh wait, yeah, he is blonde.
And I just like the miscommunication in this one was so heavy-handed that I was like, oh my god, this is like, there's no way this would ever happen.
That's why I said it was really intense. Yeah. Like, I thought it was really intense. Like, I enjoyed that. It's funny because we've gone back and forth between Ali's like flashbacks and like, do we like the way she uses them or not uses them. I think I was fine with the way it was here, only because like there's only so much you can do in an elevator other than like talk and get to the point. So like, if you're not gonna get to the point of why you're mad at each other, like,
right,
it's just gonna be boring. So like, A, that makes sense story wise, but like B, I enjoyed like the intertwining of it because it did keep me on my toes a little bit. I was like, why is she so mad at him? Like, they had such a great date, and then they had like obviously great sex, and they had like great time. So I was like really confused. So like, I did enjoy that because it wasn't like, when the reveal came, I was just like, whoa. I was like, this is like, that's what I kept saying, this is really intense. I was like, this was a lot for like a little short story of like what she thought, and then I felt really bad for him. Like that, like she literally ghosted him. I guess, I mean, obviously spoilers ahead, so we can spoil the whole thing. But like the fact that she ghosted him because she thought like
he stole.
No, he stole from her, but like I felt bad for him because he thought she ghosted him because they had bad sex or something, and he thought that he made her uncomfortable and made it was like terrible to her, and he felt so guilty this entire time, and I was just like, no, you weren't.
No. Yeah, you did feel
so
bad.
Sad.
He was like questioning like his, I don't know, like in the world of like Me Too and everything. He was like, did I overstep? Did I do it wrong? So yeah, that was a little.
I was like, poor guy.
Yeah.
And then her too, for her to think that was what was going on this entire time. I was like, that's like really sad. Yeah. Like you were like just that's like you're thinking this man like stole your client, like had sex with you and like had a date with you to manipulate you. I'm like, that's scary. Like that's scary. And I was just like, wow, this was like, you're right. It was heavy-handed, the miscommunication. Like this was just like, whoa.
Right. But I guess like that's why it worked. You know, like Ali found like a very specific thing that could happen to like two engineers in terms of their like work life, and she exploited it, and we got a cute little romance out of it, including a cat.
Another
cat.
How many cats? I did like the cat, and it was an orange cat, and it's his brother's, and he was going to watch the cat for a short term because his brother was traveling, and then his brother never came back, and it's been 1.5 years now, and I was like, that is hilarious. Yeah. I was like, then that's where you get like Ali's like classic broody man character, because he's just like I don't like this cat, but like secretly they became best friends kind of thing. Like, you know, it's like, oh, that's cute. I liked it. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I think we should talk about, when we talk about not in love, I think the like mentor character of Sadie's could be like compared to Rue's, or just kind of like a similar reaction in how they treat their mentee. Because I know in this one, I really didn't like how her mentor was like talking to her and was like, how could you do that? And like Sadie's like trying to go through her head, like, what did I tell him? Like, what did I do? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. And her mentor just kind of like belittles her. And I was not a fan of that, especially as like another woman in STEM. It's like, how dare you talk to her like that? Like, so.
Yeah, I definitely read it as like she was talking down to her, as she was like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Like your child kind of thing. So I agree. It didn't feel like an equal playing field for the two of them. But I was relieved that it wasn't like that person was the villain, you know, like one of those things again. I was like, that's predictable for Ali, A, but B, it's like, we don't have time to digest all of that. So like, I'm glad it wasn't that. So true. But yeah, it did kind of suck that like, this could have been easily like, solved so quickly.
Yeah.
But then it like, I get it. Like, it's one of the situations where you're like, you get it. Like, you're trying to get into their head because you're just like, okay, if I was in her head and I went to work the next day and then I found out that happened right after having sex and going on the date, yeah, like, I get it. Like, it's okay to come to that conclusion quickly. But then, like, I feel like this whole book is just a lesson in, like, don't ghost people. Communicate with them.
Yes.
Because you never know if that was actually what was happening, and ends up she assumed the worst of someone that was wrong. Like, she was wrong. So, it's just kind of like, yeah, the lesson of stuck with you is don't ghost people. Just be honest with them and talk to them.
Yeah. Even if it's just a one night stand or whatever, like, for the sake of your business and your career, you can have a conversation, you know?
Literally.
And
especially because they're in the same building. I was like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
You guys work in the same building. You can go for coffee or croissants.
Right? Find better croissants.
That also got me, that when she has like certain rituals and stuff. I was like, is Ali talking about OCD, or is this person just like have certain rituals?
Yeah. I think she was just talking about like certain things, and they were very quirky. And I was like, okay, sure.
Any way to get these people to meet,
right? Yeah. and have like a cute moment when they finally take their clothes off later. You know.
I did enjoy though his line though. He says something in there where he's like he's like, I don't care what we do. Like they didn't need to have sex, but he's like, I would have walked through like all through Manhattan with you all night if that's what you wanted. I was like, that would have been adorable. I would have loved that scene.
Yeah.
But I appreciate where you went with it.
Yeah, that was sweet. So yeah, what did you rate that one? Did you rate this one?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look at my ratings.
I did either.
What did I definitely rate in a review. I rate and review every book I read because just for comprehension's sake. But I gave it 3.5 stars.
Okay, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, so this novella really hones in the importance of communication, being honest, and not just ghosting someone. It's easy to digest, great characters, and I love the New York setting. It's a great reading, all the novellas in this collection, so highly recommend reading them in order. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, don't read them out of order. I almost did that by accident. I'm so glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, I gave this one, 3.5.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you give it?
Probably something similar. Maybe just a 3. It was a nice, like, bedtime read, you know? But it did, like, keep you going. Like, we talk about the time jumping. Like, I definitely did want to know what happened. So I was like, okay, I gotta finish this.
I think they are a forgettable couple, though, for me. Like, after that. Like, I don't think it's something that I would think about again.
Yeah.
And I think that might be just because we just only, A, it's a novella, but, like, B, in the novella itself, like, we only, like, actually got, like, 2 dates of them together. We're, like, under one roof. We got, like, a lot of time with them, like, jumping around and things. There were, like, moments. We got more moments to, like, connect and think about these people. And I think as we transition to Below Zero, we also get that. So I think that's why with this couple, I'm just like, I mean, yeah, I guess a lot. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about them.
No, I think, like, we just trust Ali enough that we're like, yeah, they're good, you know?
Sure.
Although we do get a lovely, like, wrap up at the end of Below Zero that we can talk about.
So Below Zero. So I'm going to skip the beginning because it's the same. They have like the same little thing for each one with Mara, Sadie, and Hannah. But the tagline for this one is, it will take the frosty terrain of the Arctic to show these rival scientists that their chemistry burns hot. I also will point out that, like, Hannah, I feel like on the cover of Allie's covers, it feels like the only person that's, like, a little bit darker skin than the other characters, which is kind of nice. Was waiting for Allie to do that, which I don't always know if that's her choice or the cover designer's choice. So that was nice to see, honestly.
Yeah.
But I just love personal colors and romance stories. Okay, anyway, Hannah's got a bad feeling about this. Not only has the NASA Aerosmith engineer found herself injured and stranded at the remote Arctic research station, but the one person willing to undertake the hazardous rescue mission is her longtime rival. Longtime is a little bit of a stretch. Ian has been many things to Hannah. The villain who tried to veto her expedition and ruin her career. The man who stars in her most deliciously lurid dreams, but he's never played the hero. So why is he risking everything to be here? And why does his presence seem just as dangerous to her heart as the coming snowstorm? And I love this cover as well. They put them like head to head with a little blanket, but on the wheels of the for each novella has like little wheels on it. They put snowflakes too for this one because they are in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Stuck With You has leaves and Under One Roof have hearts, but I really liked.
Okay.
I like Below Zero. I might be biased because blue is my favorite color too.
No,
So,
it's the most like engaging cover. You know, like you're actually like curious and you want to know what happened.
And the most intense, as we say this is the word of the episode. This is a very like high intensity situation that Ali decided to put the two of them in. That I was not expecting. And that made me more concerned than the flashbacks. Like, great, I'm so happy we get to learn about what happened for you guys to get here, but like, is she gonna die? Like, that was a little crazy for Allie. I think she was like experimenting. I feel like she hasn't done anything like that since the gunshot, the having the gun and them almost dying. So I feel like she hasn't done this kind of like intense like life or death situation since then. And this was like a nice way for her to try it out again, I guess.
And it was a little like you could almost forget like how serious the situation was, and then Sadie, or it's not Sadie, Hannah would say something like, well, I'm this close to like frostbite or whatever, and you're like, girl, what?
You're like, wait, hold on. It kind of feels like Allie was watching Star Wars, and isn't there a scene where they get like stranded in the snow?
They go like,
this is what
the
felt
planet
like.
Hoth is like an ice planet, so they have to like cut open a creature just to like stay warm from his
That's what this felt like. This is what this felt like. She was like, let me make a love story out of this.
Yeah, I definitely think she was in her Star Wars era, which is, fine.
But we were back at NASA, another NASA story, which is pretty cool. I personally love when she does the NASA science space ones. I think that's just something that intrigues me more often. So it was really cool hearing Hannah's story of why she became an aerospace engineer. And I really loved, how Allie dived into this with, they had like a scene where they're at NASA and they're like, it's her onboarding, and the person she meets is like, oh, what is your story? Like, everyone has their story when they knew they wanted to work at NASA. And like this big dramatic moment. Hannah was like, what, wasn't really that dramatic for me. Like, I actually was just like, I was really bad at school. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And then the boy said some pickup line that made no sense about Mars, and suddenly I fell in love with researching Mars. I'm like, that is so relatable and so cool. Like, I thought that was so cool. Like, Hannah just became like super cool to me. I was like, yes, like not all of us need a dramatic or we'll have this dramatic crazy moment, because we're looking for that our whole life of like, this is what we should be doing. Like, sometimes you just fall into it and you love it, and I just really, really enjoyed that. I think Hannah was one of my favorite characters of the three of them.
I think Hannah had the most like depth, had things going on and things she was like actively trying to figure out, and things that she was like, I know that's just how I am and I'm not gonna like think about it, but then like I already forgot the guy's name. Ian. Okay. He came and kind of like challenged her on that, and like especially on that like outlook of love and like being loved, and I just thought there was so much more to her, and I almost like wanted to read more,
Yeah, I wanted her to be like a full-on story.
She could.
Like, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna roll my eyes at her because like she's like I push everyone away and I can't let anybody in, and like she'd make comments about how like Sadie and Mara worked their way into her heart, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna be like it's very caricature or whatever. But then as she kept flowing with Hannah, I was like, wait, no, like she's so smart, she's so funny, she's so like relatable, and she has like a great personality. So I was just like, wait, I actually really like her.
I also liked that like they started still like innocent, like they were just doing science.
Yeah.
Like just doing coding, and like she was helping and he was impressed, and obviously like he was awkward too, and things happened.
I actually really enjoyed that too. I think it like switched up a little bit in the spice terms. But I did like that, like it was this approach of like he first off, he was a genius. He grew up being a genius. He like skipped high school, or college, or he went straight through it. And then like him just being like yes, he's a genius. He's like, oh, this and NASA, but then you just peel it all back. He's just a kid. Like, he's just a boy. Like, whatever. Or he's just a young man at this point in his life. So it's like, it's so cute that he was like nervous and like new to it. And then she like has a freak out moment of like, is this his first kiss? Am I his first kiss? Oh my God, I'm his first kiss. And she's like, no, you're not my first kiss, bro. But I was just like, that was funny. It made it like more. I think that helped with the intensity, because then you go back to this like that's a flashback, right? All this is flashback. And then you go back to present day where like her ankle is sprained and she is like dying in the Arctic, and you're like, oh my God, wait, hold on.
Yeah. No, so true. And he's coming. Like, he's gonna save her. But like, how?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I also loved how they were connected by Mara. How it was like Mara's cousin or
Yeah,
something. They kept saying cousin or
something.
something. It's like,
Uh,
and it was Sadie who was like, it's this, you keep saying that it's, and something that's ruining this. It's like, no, he's
oh
your
my
cousin,
god,
bro.
go
And
ahead.
no, I was just gonna say his like backstory too was like really, heavy too. Like his family was like drug dealers, and he had to like I thought he was joking
Wait,
at first, and he was like, no,
I
his
don't
parents
remember
like,
that.
did you not catch that?
No.
Yeah, yeah. That's I don't know if it was a joke or not, but like I don't think it was. Like his parents, like his dad, like would sell marijuana on boats, and that's why he knew how to use a boat.
Oh, okay, yeah. That
Yeah, so that's why his family was estranged. Like his parents were
from
estranged from the
the
rest of the
okay,
family.
that makes sense.
And I was just like, wait. That's why I was like, Allie, you sure you didn't want to make this a full length book? Like this had a lot
I
of meat
know
to
it
it.
really did. It still does. And like she even set up her villain thing with Hannah's like guy who gets her to the Arctic, who has had missions
Oh
fail, and like
yeah.
at first I was like, I think Ian wants to stop her from going because he wants to protect her because he knows
Mm.
it's like far away and cold and dangerous, whatever. But like there's more to it, and that like this other scientist, I don't want to call him a professor because he's more than that, has failed.
He's like a lead
Yeah, and he's
scientist, yeah.
failed multiple times. So like Ian like knew that it wasn't safe. And I feel like no matter what, he was gonna go out there and just like keep an eye on her, or maybe just like try to help be part of the team. I don't know.
Yeah, that actually threw me for a loop. I did not expect that ending. I thought it was actually gonna be that I was like, there's more to it than she thinks. Like, and
Right.
I was just like, what if it's just that he knew the project would get funded and they were gonna put the funds to something else instead? Like one of those things. Like, why give her the funds when you knew it was gonna be funded from something else? So let's give this specific fund to someone else. So I was like, oh, that's probably what the case is, and she just doesn't know that. But then when they come up with like, actually, I thought your life was in danger because this guy is terrible and shouldn't be doing what he's doing. I was like, whoa. I was like, thank God. Like, Ian is such a, like, he really looked out for her. Why he couldn't just tell her that? I don't know. But
Wow.
I guess because, like, in the moment, like, she's angry and he knew that if he told her that, she might not believe him. And she might still go through with it out of spite. Or not out of spite, but, like, because she really thought that, like, Ian didn't believe in her to
Right.
do this. And that wasn't the case at all. He did
No.
believe in her, and her project actually was successful in the end, even though she shouldn't have done it. It almost died.
Right.
But, like,
And he knew it was like smart, like it was a
yeah.
great idea. And I also think he like was willing to like sacrifice whatever they could be for like her success, like he was sending her a resume to people, and he was like giving her tips on how to succeed and things like that. And like they really only had one moment together, but like it was enough that it just like lasted.
For him to, like, truly
Yeah.
believe in her, which is so freaking cool and so sweet. And I liked their little, like, this really did feel like an Alley book, but like on like sped up, because I liked their little moments of the dinner
Oh
thing,
yeah.
of like, you have to let me know when you want
Yeah.
to go to dinner, and then by the end when they're back and she's safe, which also I felt like that was so quick. Like, when, I mean, obviously it's a novella, so we had to be, but like him like getting her, and then they're back on the ship, and then she's fine, and I was like, this was so
Right.
quick. But I liked how she was just like, okay, I'm ready for dinner, and like, I'm ready, let's do this, and he's ready to like let her down again and go through this again and be like, I don't want to just sleep with you, I want to be with you. And she's like, yeah, same, I want to have dinner. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, that was
Yeah.
so funny and so cute, and I like love that little, like, it's just like little moments of them, little cutie things that I'll remember for that. And that's why I was like, oh, this was a good one.
And then at the end, we find out that like all of the friends and all of the boyfriends are like besties.
That was super cute too. Like, I thought it was a great way to end the novella series, and that's why I really like that you have to read them in order. Because yeah, you get to like see all of their friendships come together, all of the love come together, especially in this moment of need. And yeah, it made me like all of them just a little bit more.
And I liked that they were each like they're all together, but they're like at a different stage of the really. It's not like all of them are engaged at the same time, Like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like Hannah and Ian are like just getting to like the comfort of like moving forward. And even like I think it's the epilogue where she admits that like she would think about marriage, you know. It's like not that anyone has to get married, but like she's come a long way on that. So I just thought it was, she did, like Ali did a really good job to like wrap it all up and kind of like tie the whole big book like with a nice little bow
into one, which is so cool because she didn't have to do that. They don't have to all connect, so it's nice that they did.
I would love her to do something else like this, like something similar. Maybe she'll do a vampire one.
I was gonna say a bride one where we're in the different worlds and each character,
or like Hot for Slayer one. I don't know.
Ooh, a Hot for Slayer one, yes, because I liked that vampire world better than Bride and Mate. I really did not enjoy Bride and Mate. Like I keep thinking about it every time we bring it up. I'm like, I didn't enjoy these books at all.
I know. Kayla just started Bride, and I was like, so the world is different. And I was like, once you finish that, like, then I'm going to have you read Hot for Slayer, and you're going to see the difference between vampire worlds. Same author.
The vampire and vampire.
Right. Sometimes it's okay to stick to the status quo.
Yeah. But that's a wrap on the Loathe to Love You novella series from Ali Hazelwood. We definitely enjoyed the like ride of it. I enjoyed also reading it in the wintertime. I know you don't have to, but it was just like nice because a few of them were like kind of set in the cold era. So that was fun. I listened to them on audiobooks and I digested them very quickly. And I know you have the physical copy, so like it was a great, nice read, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for, even if like a way to get into Ali, maybe.
Sure.
I would say like if you're like scared to get into like the full length, even though her full length are really not that scary at all. This is a nice way to like see how she writes and what to expect. You know, miscommunication trope is a big thing that she uses. Tall, broody men is a big thing she uses. Women that are in STEM are big things she uses. And yeah, things like that. Like she always has her core things. So it's kind of nice to like see an introduction to Ali this way.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Were any of the like voice actors ones that we know? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Probably. They reused a few of them for Ali, so maybe.
I love a good surprise. I think it's funny though, because we hated when like Fourth Wing would overlap with like Akatar, but when we hear like Teddy or we hear like the guy who does Gus from Lost and Lassoed, we're always like, oh my god, it's our guy.
Yeah, because some of them can really differentiate themselves and some of them can't. So it's like, it really depends on the guy, like, or the person reading it. Thank you all for listening to the Ali Hazelwood mini episode series. Yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking in my head I'm switching the name around. It was fun to review the novellas. We are going to go back to the core novels soon. You know, we have Not in Love, we have Deep End, we have Unproblematic. No, I said unproblematic, right?
Problematic.
We have Problematic Summer Romance left as the 3 full lengths, and then we have some newer novellas we have to dive into. And then we'll wrap it up with Ali for now until she comes out with more, obviously.
I mean, she's just going to announce another one, so we'll be hopefully right on top of that.
We'll be sad. We'll be ready. For sure. And we'll probably go back with the mini episodes, though, to some other series. Like, we have the Dream Harbor series to finish up. And some other, like, one-offs. And we have another holiday read we've recently done. So you'll hear some other interesting books that we think you can devour in one sitting or devour in a couple sittings. So that's the really fun part of doing these mini episodes.
Yeah, like a palate cleanser.
Exactly. But yeah, find us. Let us know what you think of these novels. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Faye Tales Podcast, Mystic Scales and Faye Tales Podcast, whatever you look up. Find us on the app Babel, like we mentioned in the beginning, for the book clubs. And we hope that you are reading a great book. And happy end to 2025.
Crazy. We'll definitely have to talk about reading goals too and our favorites. So let us know what you've got, and happy reading.
Happy reading.